Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commenttary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Hello and welcome to the Commenttary Hub's alternative audio coverage of the Champions League. And our featured game is Benfica against Fenerbahce in the second leg of the playoff round. The game is taking place at the Estadio do SL Benfica, known more commonly as the Estadio da Luz, which hosted the Euro 2004 final, where Greece beat Portugal 1-0, and the Champions League final twice in 2014 and 2020. Real Madrid won 4-1 against Atletico Madrid in 2014, and Bayern Munich won 1-0 against Paris Saint-Germain in 2020. And it is looking to be redeveloped for the 2030 World Cup as it's a potential venue. And one of the plans that they've got is to increase seating capacity to 70,000. So before we get on with the main business of our coverage, which is the game itself, I've got a bit of housekeeping to go through, as this is a league path match, and the losing team will be demoted to the league phase of the Europa League. Extra time and penalties will come into play if the score is undecided after 90 and 120 minutes respectively. Benfica are looking to make the main league for the fifth time in the row, and statistically they are the strongest side, having won all 5 league matches so far this season. Their last match was a 3-0 win against Tondela. Fenerbahce haven't made the main competition since 2008. They were eliminated in the group stage without a win, and 2 draws, including a draw away to Arsenal. But their league win against Lisbon should give the Yellow Canaries fresh hope, I should say, and under Jose Mourinho they will be looking to take things even further. And before we go into things a bit further, we'll just go through the lineup, starting with Benfica. Anatoly Truban is in goal at number 1. Then the remaining players: number 4, Antonio Silva; number 5, Enzo Baranechea; number 7, Karim Aktoglu; number 8, Frederick Arsnes; number 14, Vangelis Pavlidis; number 17, Amar Dedic; number 18, Leandro Barreiro; number 20, Richard Rios; number 26, Samuel Dahl; and number 30, the captain, Nicolas Otamendi. For Fenerbahce, in goal is number 40, Dominik Livakovic; number 7, Fred; number 18, Mert Muldur; number 19, Youssef En-Nesyri; number 24, Jadon Oosterwolde; number 27, Nelson Semedo; number 33, Archie Brown; number 34, Sofyan Amrabat; number 37, the captain, Milan Skriniar; number 53, Sebastian Szymanski; and number 94, Talisca. Skriniar is the captain in place of regular Fenerbahce captain Mert Hakan Yadas, who is missing with injury, and so too are Cenk Tosun and Rodrigo Bacau. Florentino Lloris is suspended for Benfica as he picked up a red card in the first leg, and also missing through injury for Benfica are Bruma, Manu Silva and Alexander Ba. and the players are now inside the tunnel as the sun is beginning to set in Lisbon, and the match officials leading the players out of the tunnel and onto the pitch. And this could be, and for Benfica, a home win in this second leg tie will be all the more sweeter. But with this being at nil, but with the score still being at 0-0, anything can happen. And Osterwolde almost scored for Fenerbahce in the last round, but the closest they came was through Youssef En-Nesyri, but he was judged to be offside. Fenerbahce wearing their striped yellow and blue strips. Benfica are all in red. So the players now going through the last stages of pre-match, observing the Champions League anthem and the display piece, or whatever that is, showcasing the ball, is moved away. They shake hands with the match officials, and got time to briefly mention the match officials. Our referee for this game is Slavko Vincic of Slovenia, but now let's go through the lineups for Benfica in formation, with Truban in goal, then the back four of Dahl, Otamendi, Antonios and someone, Barachea and Richard Reis make up the midfield three, with Kozlu and Pavlidis is the lone striker. So we'll now take a look at this in more detail. It is a 3-4-1-2 formation for Benfica. It's a 4-3-1, I should say, for Benfica. So Truban in goal, then Dedic, Silva, Otamendi and Dahl, with Rios and Barachea in midfield. The three forwards, Arsnes, Barreiro and Kozlu, with Pavlidis the lone striker. So the Benfica players going into a huddle. Their shirts are red and their shorts are white. So they've just had a last-minute huddle. They get ready to take their positions, and the captains exchange handshakes. Otamendi and Skriniar. Our referee for this game is Slavko Vincic of Slovenia, and his assistants also of Slovenia are Tomasz Klančnik and Andras Kovacic. On VAR is Alan Borosak. And the lineup for Fenerbahce is a 3-4-1-2 formation. Livakovic in goal, then Osterwolde, Skriniar and Mulder in defence. The four strong midfielders, Brown, Fred, Amrabat and Semedo, flanking Szymanski, Talisca and En-Nesyri are the two forwards. So this looks like this could well be as competitive as it was last week. And one thing I should also mention is that Bruno Lage picked up a yellow card in the first leg, so he has to watch his cool as well. Osterwolde returns to the lineup after a domestic suspension from the last game. The referee checking to make sure that everyone is in the correct position, and that's we are good to go. And away we go then for the second leg match between Benfica and Fenerbahce. It was Fenerbahce to kick off, and they are playing from left to right, and Benfica from right to left. And on the ball straight away was Skriniar for Fenerbahce, but the ball has gone over the line for an early throw. Bruno Lage walking around the touchline, getting himself a drink of water. Very wise in climates such as Portugal, and to take the throw is Skriniar. Actually, I can't make it out. It could well be Ustavalde. The ball is thrown, and it is picked up by Fenerbahce. It was actually Nelson Semedo, I beg your pardon. And now the ball being played over the line, picked up by Benfica. It came off the head. It came off the head of Otamendi. Both sides, I'd say they're feeling each other out at this early stage of the match. Only just over a minute in, and it's Ustavalde on the ball for Fenerbahce. He's on the far side, and the ball is being played down to Otamendi. It's Nicolas Otamendi on the ball for Fenerbahce. He passes to Amrabat. Now at the wing it goes to Archie Brown. So Brown passing to Szymanski. Now back with Brown, but intercepted by Benfica. That was good defending by Antonio Silva, but a Fenerbahce player has gone down. It's Brown. Brown is down on the ground, and a Benfica player has also fallen foul. We'll try and make out who it is in a moment. Jose Mourinho, watching from the touchline, pacing up and down with a frown on his face. And the player that went down for Benfica was Richard Rios. He collided with Brown. Difficult to see who was at fault, but both players seemingly able to keep going. And now the ball is being passed around Benfica. On the ball is Dahl. Dahl crossing the ball forwards, but headed away by Fenerbahce. It's been caught by Amrabat. Given away to Benfica. Now on the ball is Pavlidis. Pavlidis inside the penalty area. Almost scored by Barreiro. But now it's with Brown. Brown for Fenerbahce. But how close could Benfica get? That was almost certainly the opening. That was almost certainly the chance for Benfica to get themselves in front. And now I'm just going to have to take a look at this from another angle. The ball was being played to Pavlidis. That was good teamwork between him and Arsnes. And the man who almost headed was would have been Dedic. But Benfica still have a chance. There is still a long way to go in this game. It's Pavlidis, cut away by Amrabat. But Benfica now have it back through Antonio Silva. Almost given away by Talisca. Yeah, Fenerbahce still have the ball. It's Ustavalde. Brown almost tackled from behind by Pavlidis. Yet Fenerbahce were able to hold on. And in fact, I have to correct myself, it was Barreiro who almost scored for Benfica, and it was saved in the nick of time by Livakovic. And poor Barreiro, very disappointed. Now after the ball is Talisca. It's Talisca for Fenerbahce. He passes down the wing to Ustavalde. Now it's back with Talisca. Talisca inside the goal area. He's looking for someone to pass it to. He passes quickly, but cut away, and now it's Amrabat. Amrabat missed by Szymanski. Szymanski picks up the ball eventually, but it goes over the line. He missed his chance to take the ball. And it still remains 0-0 after 5 minutes. Although Fenerbahce have a corner, and the corner is to be taken by Talisca. So Talisca is ready to place the ball inside the corner. Bit of pushing and shoving going on inside the corner, inside the goal area, as to be expected. And the referee the referee comes over to keep things under control and organised. And as Talisca kicks the ball inside into the goal area, but cleared away by Benfica. That, I think the ball came off Barrenechea, and Jose Mourinho issuing instructions from the touchline. 6 minutes gone. Still Benfica 0, Fenerbahce 0. And to take the throw in will be Archie Brown. And Benfica, they had one attempt on target. Fenerbahce, none, but they did have one attempt earlier on. Brown waits his moment to take the throw for Fenerbahce. Meantime, a bit of a discussion going on between Antonio Silva and the referee. En-Nesyri also having a chat there too. Ball is thrown to Szymanski. Szymanski to Dominik Livakovic. Livakovic boots the ball out of the goal towards Talisca, but is intercepted by Benfica. And yet the ball goes over the line for a throw. And to take the throw in for Fenerbahce is Nelson Semedo, the former Wolves man. Semedo takes his time and throws to that was En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri concedes to Benfica. On the ball for Benfica now is Aktakoglu. Aktakoglu concedes to Skriniar. There may have been some contact, but I did not see that. Fenerbahce still on the ball with Barreiro. Barreiro to Otamendi. Now back with Barreiro. Barreiro sends the ball over the halfway line, but somebody appears to have been offside, or was it just a throw-in? No, it was just a throw-in. Now on the ball for Benfica is number 20. That was Rios. Rios to Antonio Silva. Silva crossing the ball forward to that might have been Pavlidis, but a Fenerbahce defender was able to take the ball off him. This is what happened just a short while ago, and that was almost the goal sent in by Barreiro. He was in the right place at the right time, but Livakovic was in the way. Benfica now back in possession with the ball. That was Otamendi. He passed rapidly to Antonio Silva. Silva to Rios. Back with Silva. Silva up the wing to that might have been Dahl. Yes, in fact it was Dahl, but it ended up at the goalkeeper Livakovic. Headed by that was Mulder, but retaken by Benfica. Silva inside the goal area, passing rapidly to Barrenechea. Barrenechea to Pavlidis, and now on the ball for Benfica. They're looking for another chance. It's Pavlidis inside the goal area, and Fenerbahce and Benfica almost take it. The ball struck the side netting. Pavlidis should have adjusted his angle a bit, but Fenerbahce can thank their lucky stars. It did not go in. But Benfica may yet have another bite at the cherry, because they have a corner, their first of the match. And everyone looking to get into the correct position. Fenerbahce need to halt this one. So Benfica poised to take the corner. The ball goes into the goal area, and this time it counts! Benfica take the lead through Antonio Silva! home side are jubilant. Jose Mourinho's claiming that there was foul play, but Benfica celebrating at the moment. The referee goes over to see what the situation is. The Fenerbahce players are appealing, but Vincic is having none of it, it seems. I'm going to break this down for you. It was Silva with the initial header. Pavlidis tapped it in with his foot. And Benfica leads. There might have been some contact with Skriniar, but there might have been some contact with Semedo, I should say, but as far as I know, Benfica are in front. And there's the confirmation just under 12 minutes. No, Semedo is down on the ground. There may well have indeed been contact. The referee, Skriniar, went over to see if he was all right. But Fenerbahce's appeals Fenerbahce's appeal has fallen on deaf ears, it seems. Silva struck it with his head, and close to Semedo was Barreiro. Jose Mourinho unsurprisingly calling for VAR, and the goal check is in place, I'm being told. So could Benfica's goal be struck off? Bruno Lage looking very tense inside the dugout. He's waiting for a decision. The Benfica players are claiming the ball went in. Mourinho and Fenerbahce's appeals have been heard, and we're still waiting we're going to find out. Anyway, the check is over, and what is the final decision? We shall know in just a moment or two. And as Lage waits tensely, we will soon find out the referee. We'll soon find out the referee talking to Amrabat, but also in touch with the VAR people, as Nelson Semedo is getting attention from the physios, and whilst the scoreline still reads Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0, we still have to wait to see whether it is a confirmed decision. And the referee is actually going over to the monitor, so this could change everything. As Slavko Vincic is looking at the goal review in more detail. There might have been a handball in this. Actually, it may have actually come off the shoulder of Barreiro. It was a tap from Pavlidis, but did it just scrape Barreiro's shoulder? If it did, then the goal will be chalked off. As Skriniar looks over it in more detail, we have the decision, and the goal is being chalked off. It's disallowed. It came off Barreiro's shoulder, and so Benfica are back to square one. Fenerbahce's appeal was heard, and they got what they wanted. Bruno Lage claiming that the goal was genuine, but the match officials aren't having this. And there's the confirmation. Offside, no goal. And but goodness knows how much additional time is going to be added onto this. Nelson Semedo could well be substituted by Çağlar Soyuncu. In fact, he's going on right now, and so taking the place of Semedo is Çağlar. And so play resumes, and on the ball is Ustavalde for Fenerbahce. Ball pass to Livakovic, but almost retaken by Benfica. In fact, now it has. The ball is being played forward to Akçakoglu. Akçakoglu passing to Baranechea. Baranechea down the wing to the captain Otamendi. Otamendi passes to Dahl. Dahl to number 30, Otamendi. Otamendi passing to Anatoly Truban in goal. Ball to Silva. Silva almost sends the ball into the halfway area, but headed away by Çağlar. And now the ball is being passed around to Dominik Livakovic. Amrabat. Ustavalde. Ustavalde to Skriniar. Skriniar now to Çağlar. Çağlar passes to Skriniar. Skriniar looking for someone to pass it to, and down the wing it goes. On the near side is Mulder. Mulder to Çağlar. Back with the captain Skriniar. Çağlar up the wing this time to Ustavalde. Ustavalde to Amrabat. And so now on the ball currently is Amrabat. Now the ball's being passed back. Now the ball is being passed around Benfica. On the ball is Rios. Rios to Talisca. Gives the ball away to Talisca. Talisca briefly passed to Mulder. Back with Talisca. Now up the wing it goes to Ustavalde. Ustavalde down towards the 18-yard box. Almost picked up by Szymanski, but Szymanski missed his chance. And had he reacted a bit sooner, that could well have been the opening goal for Fenerbahce. This is still very tight, and after 90 minutes, it's still Benfica 0, Fenerbahce 0. But Benfica were looking like they could change that, as Akçakoglu had the ball, was entering the 18-yard box, was entering the goal area. He claims he was fouled. And I'm going to have another look at it. That was an elbow in the chest from the Fenerbahce captain, Milan Skriniar. And he may well have retaliated by fouling Mulder. So free kick to Fenerbahce. It's Çağlar Soyuncu. And Çağlar passes rapidly to En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri was aiming for Szymanski, but the ball went far away. Still very little to choose between these two at the moment. That was a good setup for En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri, but good clearance by Benfica. Now back on the ball for Fenerbahce is Talisca. Talisca to Szymanski. Retaken for Benfica, I should say, by Arsnes. Now on the ball for Benfica is Barreiro. Barreiro down the wing to Dahl. Back with Barreiro. Barreiro passing rapidly up the wing. This time it goes to Dedic to Arsnes. Arsnes passing to Silva. Silva just outside the goal area. Benfica are getting closer, but Fenerbahce holding them back. Arsnes to Silva down the wing and into the centre circle. It's Otamendi. Otamendi to Dahl. Dahl passing to Aktakoglu. Aktakoglu almost set up Barreiro, but Fenerbahce were able to hold him off. And after 21.5 minutes, it's still Benfica 0, Fenerbahce 0. Both on the main score and on aggregates. On the ball for Benfica is Rios. Rios down the wing and over the over the halfway line to Otamendi. Otamendi pass to Aktakoglu, but he was fouled from behind by Çağlar. And we can now see what happened. Çağlar just elbowed Aktakoglu in the back. Bit of an aggressive move, in my opinion. Aktakoglu certainly felt the full force of that, clutching his ankle. Is this worthy of a yellow card? I don't know, but it's given a free kick to Benfica. And so to take the free kick for Benfica is either Dahl or Aktakoglu. Dahl sells the dummy. It's with Aktakoglu. Aktakoglu, Barreiro, and Benfica are finally in front. But are they still? It could well be offside. Bruno Lage arguing. Bruno Lage trying to get his points across, and so too are Otamendi and Pereira and Barreiro. Benfica seem to be cursed so far in this game. Is this surely going to be another VAR decision? Is this going to be another VAR review? Well, the free kick looked good initially, but it was a diving header from Barreiro, which appeared to make the difference. Did he look like he would? Brown tried to hold him off, but Barreiro just arrowed it into the net. I can't see anything else that happened. The referee tried to argue the case, and the goal has been given. A quick goal check confirms this. Benfica are 1-0 up, so finally we have a goal in this game. We have a goal in this fixture at last. 1-0 in the match and 1-0 on aggregates. It was true. The goal scoring was true. There was no foul play. And Benfica lead Fenerbahce by 1-0. But Benfica are hungry for more. And Pavlidis misses the ball. He was judged to be. I'd say he was judged to be offside. Free kick to Fenerbahce. He passes to Truban. This match is still far from over. Çağlar to Livakovic, I should mention. But Fenerbahce play the ball forward really well to Talisca, but intercepted from behind by Otamendi, and that looked very painful to Talisca. He's still on the ground, yet play still goes on. Surely the referee is going to have to blow the whistle, but he doesn't. Play still goes on. It's Aktakoglu, and down on the ground has gone Barreiro. Now the referee is calling a halt to proceedings. He wants to keep order as Talisca is still on the ground. Very painful indeed from the former Brazil international, and he actually played for Benfica between 2014 and 16, but those stats don't matter now. Otamendi elbowing him in the chest. Very painful indeed. Otamendi claiming he was impeded, but somehow I do not believe him. And this was what happened between Barreiro and Actacoglu. Jose Mourinho looking very stern indeed. And but the good news is that Talisca is still moving. He will be okay. He's being led around. He's up on his feet. He's standing up. But will Fenerbahce have to make another substitute in the first half? That will make it 2 within 15 or 20 minutes. Jose Mourinho still giving instructions from the touchline. We're just a couple of minutes over half distance. It's still Benfica 0. Fenerbahce 0. In fact, the goal's been ruled out. The goal has been ruled out. There may well have been a bit of foul play going on, but I can't. But that doesn't matter anymore. Now on the ball is Rios. Rios under pressure from Amrabat. Amrabat retakes the ball for Fenerbahce. Now on the ball briefly was Barrenechea. Barrenechea concedes, gives it away to Fenerbahce. Now it's back with Otamendi. Otamendi over the halfway line. Otamendi trying to push his way forward. It's Arsnes. Arsnes down the wing it goes. Down the wing goes the ball to Dahl. Dahl passing to Barrenechea. Now up the wing this time to Barrenechea. Barrenechea towards Barreiro. Barreiro, Pavlidis inside the goal area. Pavlidis passes to Arsnes. Benfica still want that goal, and going for it was Rios, but it bounced off the net. Benfica just can't seem to catch a break at the moment. Credits to Fenerbahce doing really well to hold them off, but if things keep going as they are, then we are looking at extra time or even penalties. And I'm gonna try and catch my breath back in a moment as Livakovic delivers the free kick, the goal kick I should say, for Fenerbahce. Szymanski almost has it, but Rios retakes it for Benfica. Now on the ball is Barrenechea. Arsnes. Ball now being crossed forward. It was aiming for Actacoglu, but retaken by Chaglar. Now down the wing this time to Mert Muldur, but it goes over the line. I think Fred may have been the last player to touch the ball for Fenerbahce. Throw into Benfica, which has been swiftly taken. And on the ball for Benfica was Silva. Otamendi to Dahl. It's Dahl on the ball. Now the ball is being passed up the wing to Barreiro, but he was pushed from behind by Sofyan Amrabat. A yellow card, very well deserved. That push in the back was needless. He didn't need to, that was needless and unfair. And if Amrabat doesn't watch out, he will be sent off. Free kick to Benfica. It's Barrenechea. Barrenechea to Otamendi via Rios. Otamendi to Barrenechea. And almost caught by Pavlidis, but retaken by Brown for Benfica. Fenerbahce, I should say. That was Dedic. That was Dedic on the ball for Benfica. Bruno Lage is sincere. Bruno Lage sincerely hoping that his side's luck will change. Dedic being spoken to by the referee Slavko Vincic. Can't quite work out what this was about. But it still remains after nearly 31 minutes on aggregate. Benfica 0, Fenerbahce 0. Now on the ball for Benfica was Barreiro. On the ball is Pavlidis. Pavlidis to Aktakozlu. Aktakozlu inside the goal area and almost tapped in. Almost tapped in by one of the other Benfica players that he slipped up at the wrong moment. It's Dahl, Barreiro, Arsnes. Arsnes was looking to pass to Aktakozlu, but the ball was forced away by Fenerbahce. To take the throw-in is Dahl. Dahl throws to Otamendi. Otamendi up the wing goes the ball to Silva. Barrenechea back towards Otamendi, I should say. Otamendi passing to Barrenechea. Now towards the goalkeeper, Truban. Truban to Silva. And Silva on the far side gives the ball away to Brown. This could cost Benfica. Now the ball is was En-Nesyri, but he conceded to Dedic. Dedic on the far side, headed by the captain of Fenerbahce, Skriniar. But play is interrupted yet again as Talisca has been brought down. It might have been by Antonio. And the referee is now asking Antonio to come over to him, and he's basically giving him a telling off there. That was absolutely unnecessary, and this was what happened a short while ago. That was a major slip up that cost Benfica the opening goal, and it was Pavlidis who slipped up. Had he not done so, Benfica would be in the lead by now. But now, after what has happened, a free kick has been given to Fenerbahce, and it will be Talisca to take the free kick. Talisca is ready to place the ball onto the spot where he will take the free kick. So he waits his moment, beads of sweat coming down his face. His eyes very concentrated. The referee blows the whistle, and Talisca is only a few steps away from the ball. The ref blows the whistle again. Talisca, but blocked by Benfica. Fenerbahce have another chance. It's Fred on the ball for the Yellow Canaries, and almost headed in by Chaglar, but saved at the last moment by Truban. Very well dealt with by Pavlidis, and it's still Benfica 0, Fenerbahce 0. Headed by Skriniar, given to Barreiro. Barreiro, now it's with Pavlidis. Retaken by Fenerbahce. That was a good interception from Chaglar, but it matters little. Benfica are in front. It's with Aktakozlu. Has the curse for Benfica finally been broken? They are now going to have to hope against hope that the goal stands. What a superb finish! What a superb finish from Kerim Aktakozlu. And the referee having a chat with one or two players. I think he was reassuring the Benfica player that this time the goal will stand. And I'm going to try and break this down because I didn't catch all of what happened. But I'm beginning to think that Actacoglu was offside. Barreiro with the delivery, and Actacoglu just finished it off. And the referee isn't making life easy for Benfica at the moment. This, in all honesty, could well be one of the most controversial matches I've ever had to do for the TC Hub. Yet the goal still stands. And it's Çağlar. It's Çağlar to Mert Mulder. Now on the ball for Benfica was Dahl, but it was almost given away to Fenerbahce. Now it's the Fenerbahce captain, Skriniar on the left. It's Fred. Here's Fred. Fred up the wing to Oosterwolde. Now back with Skriniar. Skriniar enters the centre circle. Barreiro looked like he was going to take the ball off him, but good reaction by Skriniar to pass the ball to Oosterwolde. It's back with Skriniar. Talisca back with Skriniar to Çağlar. He was almost tackled from behind by Actacoglu. It's Amrabat. Amrabat back towards Oosterwolde. Now after the ball is Brown, but defended by Antonio Silva. Arsnes now on the ball, but almost pushed from behind was Barreiro. That was by Amrabat. Remember, he is on a yellow card already. So if he carries on like that, he will miss. So if he carries on like that, he will be suspended from the first match, which in the league phase, which for Fenerbahce looks like being the Europa League. And the Benfica fans are enjoying things at the moment. Free kick to Benfica, almost intercepted by Amrabat for Fenerbahce. It was briefly caught. The ball was briefly held by Oosterwolde. Now we're back in play again. Benfica after the ball, but it goes over the line for a throw. Benfica with the throw. Arsnes to Antonio Silva. Baranachea to Actacoglu, I should say. He was almost pressurised by Çağlar. Now on the ball this time is Dedic. Dedic to Baranachea. Baranachea now to Antonio Silva. The ball still on the far side. Benfica trying to make their way into their attacking third. It's Baranachea. Baranachea to Silva. Silva, Pavlidis, Barreiro, but defended by the Fenerbahce captain Skriniar. Now down the wing it goes. On the near side for Benfica is Rios. Over the halfway line to Otamendi. Otamendi up the wing to Silva. It's Arsnes inside the centre circle. Arsnes passes to Actacoglu. Actacoglu looking for Actacoglu trying to look for someone to pass it to. It was briefly held, but the ball was briefly held by number 20 Rios. Rios passing to Otamendi. 5 minutes to go in the first half. It's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. And over the line it goes. That might have been by Antonio Silva. Thrown by Fenerbahce. It's Brown. Brown passing to Szymanski, but retaken by Benfica. And I'm going to have to take another look at this. It was Brown who set up Szymanski, but Benfica rushed to their goalkeeper's defensive aid, and it is a goal, and it will be a goal kick to Benfica. Truban sends the ball forward to Pavlidis, but he was headed by Osterwolde. Now back with Benfica, and after the ball is Pavlidis. It's Pavlidis still holding on to the ball. Was aimed for Akçakoglu, but re-intercepted by Fenerbahce and Szymanski. Benfica tried to take the ball back, but Fenerbahce still hold on. Good ball control by Osterwolde. Osterwolde down the wing to Mert Muldur. Mert Muldur now to En-Nesyri. Cut away by Benfica. Back to Mert Muldur, but the ball has gone over the line for yet another throw. Throw quickly taken. The ball now being passed down the field to Çağlar. Now the ball this time is with the captain Skriniar. Back down the wing to Amrabat, and straight to En-Nesyri on the near side. Çağlar up the wing to Skriniar. Skriniar back to Amrabat. Çağlar again. Çağlar to Mert Muldur, but a player has been fouled. It may have been Fred. It was, and it will be a throw in to Fenerbahce. Fred to Amrabat. Amrabat to Jadon Osterwolde. Osterwolde to Skriniar, now back with Talisca. Talisca crossing the ball down the wing. He finds Mert Muldur. Muldur passes to Çağlar. Now the ball is with Skriniar. Skriniar, Szymanski, Talisca gives the ball away to Benfica, but it has been retaken by Skriniar. Fenerbahce trying to equalise, but now they have a chance. Cut out by Otamendi. The player on the ball was Mert Muldur, and a throw in to Fenerbahce. He throws to Fred, but it goes over the line yet again. And with almost a minute of normal time left, Benfica are doing their absolute hardest to keep Fenerbahce at bay, but they have not made it easy for them. It's Arsnes on the break for Benfica. He passes to Pavlidis. Pavlidis now to Barreiro. He should have kept the ball, in my view, and gone for an open space. But the move he did to pass to his teammate was foolish, in my opinion. And Benfica have a throw. It's Dahl to Baranechea. It's still Baranechea. He's over the halfway line. He passes up the wing to Silva, who's on the far side. Silva was aiming for Arsnes, but the ball is now back with Silva. Otamendi down the wing to Dahl. Thomas Dahl to Akçakoglu, but clipped away by Skriniar. Now on the ball was Rios. Rios to Silva. The ball has entered the 18-yard. The ball has entered the goal area, and Benfica look to try and make it 2 before half-time. Very close, and that was by Vangelis Pavlidis. In the meantime, 6 minutes have been added on, Initial clearance by Skriniar, and Dahl almost set up Barreiro. It was Barreiro who was the closest to the goal. The ball was deflected away, bounced off one of the cameras, and so we will have either a corner or a free kick. No, in fact, it's just a goal kick from Livakovic. To reiterate what I said earlier, 6 minutes have been added on. We've just gone over the first minute of those, it's still Benfica with the upper hand in terms of scoring, although Fenerbahce are closing in on them. Silva passes to Baranachea. Now back to Silva. Silva did well to pass to Anatoly Truban. The ball is now being crossed forward to Pavlidis, who's under pressure from Skriniar, but now on the ball is Dahl. Dahl passes to Akçakoglu. Akçakoglu now enters the goal area. Sets up a chance, but the ball was flicked away by Çağlar. Wouldn't have mattered anyway because he would have been offside. En-Nesyri now inside the goal area. Now inside Fenerbahce's attacking third. Ball was kept out, but now a collision between Archie Brown and Richard Rios. And the referee needs to go over and sort out the situation fast. Everyone now has to work out what happened. It was Rios, and I'd have to say it was 75% Brown, 15% Rios. And Rios back up on his feet, and so too is Brown, but both of them aren't happy. So this is what happened just now. This was the earlier goal from Akçakoglu, and Bruno Lage. He was just absolutely ecstatic. Benfica just need to either keep holding on or score at least one more if they are to go through to the league phase of this competition. The ball goes over the line, and it might have come off a Fenerbahce player because it will be a throw-in to be taken. Because it will be a Benfica throw-in. Dedic to take the throw. 2 minutes of stoppage time left. Almost picked up by Amrabat. Now the ball is with Çağlar, but after it is Pavlidis. Çağlar did well to pass to the captain. Skriniar now on the ball for Fenerbahce. Was briefly Amrabat, but Benfica were able to retake it. Akçakoglu was almost fouled, but he did well to keep hold of the ball. Now the ball inside the goal area with Barreiro. Barreiro back to Akçakoglu. Well stopped by Fenerbahce. Brown crossing down the wing to En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri has the ball. He finds Talisca, but the referee has called a halt to proceedings. We'll try and piece together why in a moment. But it was because Otamendi has gone down, and we'll try and work out what happened. Oosterwolde just ran into him like he wasn't there. That was completely unnecessary, in my opinion. Did the ball strike the referee? I think it may have done. It was something I did not see, but I just saw The ball may have struck the referee, but I'm not too sure. And we've got just around 15 seconds to go until the half-time break, although I fear we are going to go over 6 minutes. And the game resumes, but there aren't, we are going to go slightly over 6 minutes. Fenerbahce still looking for that equaliser before half-time, but kept out by Benfica. Fenerbahce with the throw by Amrabat. The ball now being played to Fred inside the centre circle. The ball goes down the wing to Chaglar on the near side. And also on the near side was Muldur. It's Muldur. Still holds the ball. Great control, but kept out by Benfica. And there it goes, the whistle for half-time. It looked very touch and go over who was going to break through first. Benfica thought they'd scored 2 earlier goals, but they were ruled out. But they came back into this 10 minutes from half-time through Karim Aktoglu. And the half-time score at the Estadio do SL Benfica. Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. And before we stop for the half-time break, we'll now take a look at the other scores from. We'll now take a look at the other scores from the games being played, as well as Tuesday night's results. So we'll start with the game still in play at the moment, and also an earlier game which had finished between Qarabağ and Ferencvaros. It finished Qarabağ 5, Ferencvaros 4. So Qarabağ through to the league phase through to the league phase for just the second time in their history. They made the old group stage in the mid-2010s. And the other half-time score: Club Brugge 5, Rangers 0. And the first it was Club Brugge who won the early game 3-1. So the current aggregate score is 8. So the aggregate score is 8-1. And FC Copenhagen 0, Basel 0 is the current result. Yet it's 1-1 on aggregates. And the matches that were on Tuesday night. Crvena Zvezda, that's Red Star Belgrade 2, Paphos 3 was the final aggregate score. Bodo Glimt 6, Sturm Graz 2, and Celtic 0, Kairat Almaty 0. But Kairat Almaty won 3-2 on penalties. We're going to take a break for half-time, but do join us for the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere. welcome back to the Commentary Hub's audio coverage of the Champions League game between Benfica and Fenerbahce in the second playoff leg. I forgot to mention at the start of the programme that I'm your match commentator, Nicholas Jones, and the players are getting ready to kick off for the second half. So Benfica will be playing from left to right, Fenerbahce playing from right to left at the Estadio do El Benfica, known to you and me as the Stadio da Luz, or Stadium of Light, as it's translated from Portuguese. And so Archie Brown and the rest of the Fenerbahce players getting ready for the start of getting ready for the second half to kick off. There have been no half-time substitutes that I can make of just yet. I'll let you know of any full confirmation if there have been any changes close to the time. As I said earlier in commentary, very controversial. Much of the first half it was, and the Benfica players now making their way out of the tunnel and onto the pitch. We will soon get ready to kick off the second half in just a few moments. Remember, and there has been a half-time substitute. Ismail Yuksak comes on in place of Sofyan Amrabat. Ismail Yuksak, the Turkish international. He's been with the club since 2020, and we get ready for the start of the second half. It'll be Benfica to kick us off, and everyone starts the countdown to what could be a crucial second half for both sides, and we are underway at the Stadio da Luz for the second half of this second leg playoff match between Benfica and Fenerbahce. And the ball, straight away the ball goes over the line for a Benfica throw, and it will be Amar Dedic to take the throw for the Eagles. Ball being passed back to Dedic, now to Antonio Silva. Silva passing to Anatoly Truban. So Truban clears the ball away almost over the halfway line, but intercepted by Fenerbahce. Talisca to Çağlar. Çağlar, the right back. Ball now being passed back to Livakovic in goal. Livakovic over the line, headed by Dedic. Now back with Skriniar. The ball now passed to Szymanski, but almost cleared away by Talisca. But it will be over the line once again for a throw. This was something I saw which I almost missed. Was there a collision between Talisca and Antonio? I couldn't quite make that out, but a free kick has been given to Fenerbahce, and it's Çağlar with the free kick towards En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri back to Çağlar. Fred now on the ball on the far side was Mert Muldur. Mert Muldur to Çağlar. Fred, good tackle from behind by Richard Rios, but it's given the ball back to Fenerbahce. Benfica retake it. The ball was briefly with Baranechea. Baranechea to Silva. Silva to Otamendi, or was it Rios? No, it was Rios. Rios, Otamendi, and now on the ball is Silva, but it ends up in the arms of Truban. Benfica should at least get one more goal in to put the game beyond doubt, but regardless, they are holding off. They are holding off Fenerbahce very well indeed. Otamendi was aiming for Akçakoglu, I should say, but the ball was cut away by Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce now on the ball. It's Skriniar into the centre circle. Down the wing it goes to Oosterwolde. Now on the near side is Brown. Archie Brown trying to thread his way through, but he was brought down by Dedic. And that was very close to the goal area. Brown just caught out by Dedic, and that has given a goal kick to Benfica, yeah, but retaken by Fenerbahce through the captain Skriniar. Skriniar to Szymanski, but given back to Benfica. On the ball is Akçakoglu. Akçakoglu to Frederick Arsnes. Arsnes back towards Akçakoglu. Headed into the air by Yüksek. Benfica still yet to make a substitution, remember. And on the ball for Fenerbahce was momentarily Talisca. Now it's Youssef En-Nesyri. Back to Talisca. Talisca passes to Oosterwolde. Up the wing to Ismail Yüksek. Ismail Yüksek. Now Oosterwolde. Oosterwolde. Talisca. Talisca passes back to Oosterwolde. Oosterwolde closing in on the goal area, but it's over the line, and it will be a Benfica goal kick. Oosterwolde just clipped it with his ear, and he appears to have brought down Karim Akçakoglu in the process. 5 minutes into the second half, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. Not being played around Benfica. It's now with Çağlar. Benfica player went down. That was Akçakoglu, but Akçakoglu, Barreiro now back with Barreiro. Good tackle by Ismail Yüksek. Talisca, Brown. Archie Brown makes his way over the halfway line and passes to En-Nesyri on the far side, but he was tackled by Richard Rios. And Jose Mourinho knows that if things keep going as they are, then Fenerbahce's hopes of reaching the Champions League phase are gone. But there's still a long way to go in the second half. It's Dedic to Antonio Silva. Silva to I couldn't see who it was. It might have been Otamendi, but Fenerbahce still on the attack. Caught by Truban. Let's break it down. It was It was headed by Skriniar, and the offside flag was raised. I didn't notice it, and it was against Youssef En-Nesyri. Now to take the goal kick for Benfica is Anatoly Truban. Truban. Here's the ball out of the goal. Given away to Oosterwolde. Given away to Oosterwolde, who passed to Livakovic. Now on the ball is Brown on the near side, closing in on Fenerbahce's attacking third, but and he did well to pass to En-Nesyri. It's Skriniar. Skriniar still on the ball. Up the wing it goes to Çağlar. Çağlar to Skriniar. Ustavalde now back towards Brown, but Brown didn't have it very long. It was good interception by Arsnes, and he passed quickly to Pavlidis, but Pavlidis fouled by Brown, and that looked very rough to me. Arsnes did really well, and Brown just elbowed him in the back. He was maybe just got a touch of rage, and he was just like, take that straight into Pavlidis' back. That should have been a yellow card for me, but still, Benfica still keep hold of the ball. It's Dedic to Arsnes, now back towards Dedic. Brown almost takes it from behind, and Brown has fouled yet another Benfica player within 2 minutes. This time it was Amar Dedic. And it's going to be a free kick to Benfica. Ball now being passed to Silva. Antonio Silva passes back to Truban in goal. Ball now being crossed forward to Arsnes, but intercepted by the captain, Skriniar. It was with Çağlar. Çağlar passing the ball, but Benfica retake the ball through Barreiro. Barreiro to Aktürkoğlu. Aktürkoğlu goes down, but play still goes on. Now on the ball for Fenerbahce is En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri under pressure from Antonio Silva. Does well to pass to Brown. Brown to En-Nesyri via Ustavalde. Now after the ball was Brown, and fouled from behind was Pavlidis. I couldn't see who fouled him, but he's been roughed up one too many times in my view. Has Vangelis Pavlidis, and the man who fouled him was Ismail Yüksek, and Bruno Lage clearly shouting that was a foul. On the ball for Benfica, I should say, was Pavlidis. Good to see that he's back up on his feet. Brown to Skriniar, and he goes on the ground, and also on the ground was Ismail Yüksek. And coming up to the 56th minute, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. And Skriniar brought down by Leandro Barreiro. To take the goal kick was Livakovic. 56 minutes have now gone. It's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. As Samuel Dahl gets ready to take the throw. Dahl throws, but brought down was Enzo Barrenechea. I couldn't see who fouled him. It was Fred, and Fred should be given a verbal warning for this. Free kick to Benfica, and it will be Antonio Silva, to take the free kick. He passes to Anatoly Truban in goal. Truban clears the ball out of the net towards Ustavalde, but Benfica retake it. It's Pavlidis. Good interception by Skriniar, but Benfica. But Benfica are angling for another chance. Arsnes to Pavlidis. But Pavlidis slips up and he's offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. Despite, I'm really impressed with how Benfica are able to keep hold of this, but hold it. The referee is going to give someone a yellow card. We'll see. We'll try and ascertain who it is in a moment. It might well be one of the Fenerbahce staff, or was it someone from Benfica? I don't know at this moment in time. And a shove in the back by Chaglar, and that was on that was on Pavlidis. But play still goes on. It's Fred to Szymanski, Yuksek now Brown on the near side, and Brown into the goal area, and that was almost a foul by Chaglar Soyuncu. Yet he feels he was fouled. That might have been on Silva. It's given Benfica a free kick, and the ball now being passed around the Benfica defence. It's Silva crossing further forward to Pavlidis. It's Arsnes, almost tackled by Oosterwolde. Ball goes up the wing to Samuel Dahl. Dahl passes to Rios. Now it's back at the feet of Silva. Arsnes to Dedic to Silva. Now the ball is back with Truban in goal. And after the ball is Pavlidis. It was briefly held by the Fenerbahce captain Skriniar, forced away by Jadon Oosterwolde, and that is a free kick, or should that be a corner, to Benfica, and the man that will take the corner is going to be Samuel Dahl. Dahl placing the ball inside the corner. Benfica still yet to make a substitution. Dahl gets ready to take the corner. Benfica rockets it into the goal area, but punched away by Livakovic. It was almost sent in by Antonio Silva. Silva with the header at the right time, but the fist from Livakovic just punched it away. And poor Antonio Silva, just so disappointed. But can Benfica take advantage of a second corner? Almost given away by Skriniar, but it was luck that saved Fenerbahce, and we will have and it looks as though we are going to have a third corner for Benfica. Benfica will have a third corner. Ball goes into the goal area, cleared away though by Fenerbahce. It ends up at the feet of Dahl. Dahl into the goal area, but it goes over the net. Otamendi almost had it, but he was denied by fate. Skriniar to a Chaglar. Szymanski gives the ball away to Otamendi. It's Benfica on the ball. Barreiro to Arsnes. Now down the wing to Amar Dedic. Dedic back to Arsnes. Arsnes. Pavlidis brought down. No, it wasn't Pavlidis. It was Rios. Ball now back with Fenerbahce, and it looks to me as though someone has lost a shoe. That might have been Rios, and a yellow card has been given to a Fenerbahce player. Arguments going on both on the pitch and off it. Bruno Lage having a chat with the fourth official, and the instigator in that instance was Ismail Yuksek, and to Dishu, an opposing player like that is completely uncalled for. And just as well, really, that's Barreiro had to pick up the boot of. Had to pick up his teammate's boot, otherwise it was going to get flattened. And two Fenerbahce substitutions are going to come on: Orgaz Aydin and Duran. So, free kick to Benfica, but it doesn't come off, and so we will still keep on going. That was Aktakoglu. Would have been headed by Otamendi, but he was swamped by the Fenerbahce defenders. And so Fenerbahce now decide to make the substitutions. Off will come Mulder, and will come Mulder and Brown. And onto the pitch will come John Duran and Orgaz Aydin. It might be a few minutes before we see a substitution from Benfica. So, goal kick to be taken by Dominik Livakovic. And Livakovic clears the ball out of the goal towards Otamendi. Otamendi to Baranechea, but on the ball is Fenerbahce. It was briefly held by Talisca, but given back to Benfica, and down on the ground is Richard Rios. Richard Rios now being felt all over by Bruno Lage. A yellow card once again. And carries on like that, so he could well be suspended from the next game and be reduced to a touchline ban. But it might work differently for managers in comparison to players, and one of the Benfica players given a big old whack on the nose. That was indeed Rios, and the referee coming over to see if he is indeed all right. A couple of Benfica substitutes warming themselves up. It could well be their turn to come on, but with less than 35 minutes left, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. Goes over the line for a throw. The ball thrown to Chaglar. Chaglar to Fred. Ball now headed towards Duran, I think it was. Chaglar back to Fred. Now on the ball was the captain, Skriniar. Now it's Jadon Ustavalde on the near side. Szymanski back to Fred. Now the ball goes up the wing to Ismail Yuksek. Ismail Yuksek to Chaglar. Chaglar for Fenerbahce. Now back to the captain, Milan Skriniar. Down it goes to Ustavalde, Szymanski, back to Ustavalde, Skriniar, up the wing to Chaglar, back with Chaglar, Talisca, down the wing to Szymanski. Szymanski had to hold off the advances of Arsnes. It's still Szymanski to En-Nesyri, but retaken by Benfica. Now on the ball is Dedic on the near side. Arsnes almost tackled by Arsnes, but he was able to hold on. Unlike Dedic, who was brought down by Szymanski. Benfica are still managing to hold on despite the challenges by Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce need that equaliser because they feel that extra time could well play to their advantage, but Benfica aren't going to let them have it. Not if they have anything to say about it. And on the ball for Fenerbahce is Ismail Yuksek, but he was fouled by Barreiro. And the referee has given a yellow card to Barreiro. Barreiro shakes his head because he knew what was coming, and no real complaints from the Luxembourg international. He might have shown a bit of annoyance, although he was mostly likely annoyed at himself. And now headed up into the air for Fenerbahce. Was almost picked up by Talisca. Arsnes. It's Arsnes for Benfica. Retaken by Ustavalde. It's still with Fenerbahce. The ball now being passed to Szymanski, but deflected by Dedic, and yes, I can confirm that it was Barreiro who got the yellow card. Arsnes, but deflected over the line by Fred. With 20 minutes to go, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0, as Dedic takes the throw-in. Dedic throws to Otamendi to Pavlidis, Arsnes, now Dedic to Rios. Ball being crossed up the wing to Karim Aktoglu inside the goal area, but tackled by Fenerbahce. They briefly had it, now it's back with Benfica through Dedic inside the goal area. Fenerbahce are becoming more and more desperate, it seems. Duran on the near side. He passes to Fred. The ball goes up the wing to Talisca. It's Talisca passing quickly, and now the ball goes into the goal area. Almost sent in by Youssef En-Nesyri. It just bounced off the top of the net. Very close by En-Nesyri. So disappointed. The man formerly of Malaga and Sevilla just came so close. And Benfica supporters can breathe again now, as to take the free kick will be Anatoly Truban. Benfica completed 292 passes, Fenerbahce 247. But Fenerbahce still putting on a gritty performance as they look to as they aim to equalise before 90 minutes. Benfica still keeping the ball away from, still trying to keep the score down, and they're doing that really well. It's Osterwolde. Osterwolde inside the 18-yard box and headed over by Talisca. Whatever chances that Fenerbahce are getting right now, they are just missing them. And that was way over the cross, and that was way over the bar. No way was that going in. Talisca very disappointed. And Jose Mourinho now looking very grim. He knows that Fenerbahce's chances are slipping further and further away. Truban with the goal kick. It's Ismail Yüksek. It's still with Fenerbahce through Çağlar. Now cleared out of goal by Livakovic. On the ball is Baranachaya. Baranachaya heads it, but gives the ball away to Ismail Yüksek. On the ball still for Fenerbahce, but it was briefly held by Arsnes. Szymanski was about to cross. Szymanski was about to cross to Talisca, but well held by Arsnes for Benfica. A player has gone down in the meantime. It might be, and it's Osterwolde, Jadon Osterwolde. That looks very painful to him. And the Fenerbahce physio is coming over to have a look. That was the ball. It just went straight into his chest. Very, very painful indeed. He's writhing about in agony, and the rest of the players take advantage to have a quick drink and do some and stretch their legs a little bit. Akçakoglu coming out. Akçakoglu taking a quick swill of water, and the Fenerbahce squad talking over what has happened. And it was Aydin with the cross, and that just went over the bar from Youssef En-Nesyri. He has to get over this disappointment very soon and find a way to bang the balls in, as two Fenerbahce players are being substituted. Pavlidis and Karim Akçakoglu are being substituted in favour of Franjo Ivanovic and Andreas Schelderup. So Ivanovic and Schelderup making their way onto the pitch. Ivanovic number 9 and Schelderup number 21. Fenerbahce on the ball with Osterwolde. It's Osterwolde pressured by Ivanovic. It's still Osterwolde. Now it's with Talisca, but Talisca aims to, but Talisca's shot is too wide. Talisca tries to go for. Talisca looked like he was going to go for it, but so the ball just spun the wrong way. And after just after 76.5 minutes, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. Anatoly Truban to clear the ball out of the goal for Benfica. And on the ball was briefly Aydin. Aydin to Skriniar. Çağlar, Aydin to Yüksek, but now the ball is back with Benfica and re-given to Oguş Aydin. Talisca down the wing to Szymanski. Szymanski passes to Fred. The ball goes over the halfway line and back and down the wing again to Szymanski. Szymanski Szymanski to Oosterwolde, up the wing to Chaglar to Talisca, almost retaken by Benfica, but Chaglar passes down the wing to Szymanski, and play has been called to a halt. Szymanski judged to be just a fraction offside, and very unfortunate for the pole to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well cleared forward by Anatoly Truban, but down goes a Fenerbahce player. That might have been through contact by Ivanovic. And on the ball this time, and on the ball is Chaglar to Talisca trying to cross forward to Szymanski. The ball is retaken by Benfica. It's Ivanovic under pressure from Talisca, but he succumbs and is pushed down to the ground, and Talisca gets a yellow card for this. Unnecessary in my view. He shouldn't have done that. But was the yellow card a bit too harsh? I'd say that was the wrong decision by the referee. He might have shoved him in the back. But the contact I feel was very light. Protest, and I have a strong feeling that the yellow card could well be for dissent. He really shouldn't have shot his mouth off like that. And so Samuel Dahl will take the free kick for Benfica. He takes a couple of steps back, sells him a dummy, and it's Rios to take the free kick. As Fenerbahce try to defend their goal area. Benfica still looking for that second goal. Saved by Dominik Livakovic. And with 10 minutes to go, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. And the ball now being crossed forward by Fred to En-Nesyri. But retaken by Benfica. Arsnes to Silva. Now on the ball is Barreiro to Ivanovic. Back to Silva to Arsnes. Now it's with Ivanovic to number 20, Rios down the wing to Dedic on the near side. Dedic still has the ball, but cut out by Fenerbahce. Now on the ball is Fred to Talisca almost tackled, but he was able to hold on. Now Talisca was pushed down, and Talisca already on a yellow card. He's going to get sent off, and he is. Fenerbahce reduced to 10. It was Benfica in the first leg. Now it's the turn of Fenerbahce to play with a man down. As Benfica come over to see, as the Benfica physios are coming over to see that a player has gone down. It's Baron Achea who was fouled, and that was a very nasty elbow into the face. And so Talisca, he's still on the pitch. He really should go. And there's a lot, and there's still a lot of arguing going on between. There's still a lot of arguing going on between both sides, and Talisca trying to protest, but he still hasn't gone, despite receiving his marching orders. That I think it's probably a harsh decision. Just elbowed him in the face by accident. I don't think it was of any malicious intent. And now finally he makes his way off. Jose Mourinho will have more than just a few words to say to him. And Talisca going off. He will miss the first match of the Europa League phase. Although I have a feeling that Mourinho will also have a few strong words against the red card decision. And play will resume, although there will be an extended period of injury time, I fear. Truban takes the free kick. The ball goes as far as Ivanovic. It's Ivanovic, but it ricochets off Chaglar. Now on the ball is number 70. That's Aydin. Aydin to En-Nesyri. But the ball ends up at the feet of Truban. Truban will take the goal kick, and he kicks the ball forward and goes as far as Skriniar to Ivanovic, gives the ball away to Ivanovic, I should say, and now on the ball is Dedic, back to Dahl, saved by Dominik Livakovic. Just coming up nearly 5.5 minutes of normal time left. It's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0, both on the main score and on aggregates. I mean, both in the match and on aggregates. Headed by Silva, and over the line it goes. But a yellow card has been given to Silva. May have collided with a Fenerbahce player. And yes, it was En-Nesyri, and I think that's a bit of a harsh decision. En-Nesyri probably may have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. You may disagree with me on this one. You may not, but a yellow card is a yellow card, and there's nothing we can do. So to take the free kick is Fenerbahce's Sebastian Szymanski. Should let you know my player of the match within the next 3 to 4 minutes. Szymanski with the free kick, defended by Benfica. And speaking of Benfica, Barrenechea has gone to the ground yet again. And the referee coming over to her to see what the problem was, and it was Skriniar who bundled Enzo Barrenechea over, and to me that is just not on. And to take the goal kick, or the free kick I should say, is Anatoly Truban. So Truban headed by, I couldn't see who it was, that might have been Ivanovic, but down on the ground has gone a Benfica player. And the referee, he's just rattling out those yellow cards, and that is a yellow card for Chaglar, and most likely for dissent, and it was. The referee was wagging his finger at him, you know, any more lip from you, sunshine, and you're off. And that was he may well have caught Shelderup on the foot, but his yellow card was for dissent. And so Rios will take the free kick for Benfica. Rios gets ready to take the free kick. He takes a few steps back. He stands calmly behind the ball. and the referee will blow the whistle any second now. Fred doing some last-minute stretches, and Baranechea wants to make sure that his teammates are in the right position. The free kick taken, good block by Fenerbahce, but it's Baranechea with the ball into the goal area, held firm by Fenerbahce, but Benfica aren't giving this one up. It's number 20 Rios on the attack, but again kept at bay by Fenerbahce. Baranechea to Dedic, now back with Baranechea. Baranechea to Rios. Baranechea cut out by Fenerbahce, but briefly on the ball for a moment was Richard Rios, and Fenerbahce getting more desperate and resorting to potentially dirty tactics in order to bring the game level, so they can take it to extra time, because time is running out for the Turkish side. And taking a couple of steps back is Richard Rios. He will take the free kick for Benfica, and the ball goes into the goal area, headed away by Chaglar. It goes as far as Baranechea. Baranechea down the wing to Richard Rios. Rios passing the ball forward rapidly to Ivanovic, but cut away by Fenerbahce. We're now into the last minute. Of normal time, and with 30 seconds to go, it's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. As for who my man of the match is going to be, that is a really tough call. I will let you know who it is. Within the next minute or two. Dedic to take the throw, and he passes to Ivanovic, back to Dedic. Dedic to Arsnes, but taken away by Fenerbahce. And I'm going to have to give my man of the match very soon. But as soon as there is another lull in play, I'll let you know. As Livakovic clears the ball over the line, it's gone for a throw, and I can reveal that my player of the match, my man of the match, as sponsored by Futebol Live, is number 7, Kerim Atakoglu, the man who puts Benfica in front. As we now go into the 90th minute, 5 minutes have been added on, and it's still with Dedic. Dedic to Arsnes. Arsnes tries to keep the ball inside but can't, so it's a throw in. To Fenerbahce, but Benfica swiftly retake it. Ivanovic over the halfway line, and he has been pushed down to the ground by Jadon Oosterwolde. I'm just catching my breath here, because I need to save as much energy as I can for the last few minutes, and some of the fans are making their way out of the stadium. They can't bear to watch, it seems. Silva passing to Truban. Truban held, but gives the ball away to Milan Skriniar. Ball ends up at the feet of Livakovic. Livakovic down the wing to En-Nesyri. Free kick is given to Fenerbahce, and it will be Fred that will take the free kick. Fred takes a few steps back and runs up, kicks the ball towards towards Chaglar. But now on the ball is Sheldalup towards Ivanovic, and Ivanovic, can he finish it off? No, he can't. Saved by Livakovic, and the ball goes up, and the ball goes over the line. It will be a throw. It will be a throw-in to Benfica, but that was very close from Franjo Ivanovic, and it was the assist by Rios that would have counted, but it just wasn't to be. 2 minutes of injury time left. It's still Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. And if Benfica just hold on, they will be through to the league phase of the Champions League. Jose Mourinho knows for sure that Fenerbahce are on borrowed time as Fred takes the free kick, but a player is down. It's Ustavalde, so the free kick may have to be retaken, as Otamendi complaining that he may have been hit in the chest, and he was. I can clearly see that was a push from Ustavalde, and Otamendi may have retaliated, but it was all Ustavalde as Fred takes the free kick once more. Oh, the ball is almost at the feet of Duran, but Benfica still managed to keep hold of the ball. They give it away. It's given away to Fred. Fred passes to Aydin, and Aydin, but saved by Anatoly Truban. 30 seconds of injury time left. It looks as though everyone is starting to tire out. Fenerbahce should have equalised some 15 minutes ago, in my opinion, but I feel that they have shot their last bolts long ago, and Benfica have just proven themselves to be too strong for Jose Mourinho's side. Johan Duran down on the ground, full of disappointment, and one of the substitutes is aggrieved at seeing his teammate down. So we are going to go overtime yet again, and the Benfica supporters just can't seem to bear it. Duran, he looks in a bad way, almost hobbling it seems, but he's now standing up. He's walking, so that's good. So that's good to see. But I'd say his evening's work is done. Goodness knows how long we are going to go over for. So we now enter an additional 6 minutes of injury time. Szymanski for Fenerbahce, but it doesn't really matter. It's over, and for the 6th consecutive time, Benfica are through to the league phase of the Champions League. For Fenerbahce, the Europa League beckons. A controversial first half, punctuated only by that goal from that goal by Aktoglu. Fenerbahce gave everything they got in the second half, but it wasn't to be. Benfica held on, and it paid off. Full time at the Estadio do SL Benfica. Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0, both in the game and on aggregates. And so before we go, let us check out the final scores from Let's check out the other Champions League scores and remind ourselves of the early of the goals from Tuesday night. So the final scores from the final aggregate results from Tuesday night. Crvena Zvezda or Red Star Belgrade 2, Paphos 3, Bodo Glimt 6, Sturm Graz 2, and Celtic 0, Kairat Almaty 0. Kairat won 3-2 on penalties. And the result from the earlier game: Karabag 2, Ferencváros 3. Karabag win 5-4. Karabag won 5-4 on aggregates. Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0. We know about Club Brugge 6, Rangers 1, Rangers 0, and so the Rangers 0, and so the final score is 9-1. FC Copenhagen 2, Basel 0, Copenhagen win 3-1 on aggregates. So that was the Commentary Hub's coverage of the Champions League second leg playoff match between Benfica and Fenerbahce. I've been Nicholas Jones. Hope you enjoyed listening. Take great care, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.